Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Dreamers Game 1, where we are playing Yomi. This is turn 84. We're kind of getting deep into this one. I'm starting to get worried that I don't need another 100 plus turn game. Ay ay ay. Okay, so let's jump into things, shall we? Right off the bat, we have some research completed. We've completed construction 7, and we have completed evocation 4. So, very nice. Kicking that off. The construction, of course, again, is for golems primarily, right? I think weapons of sharpness also, right, is a good pickup there, if I'm remembering correctly. But primarily we're looking at golems, and then we are now running up evocation because getting to high evocation is basically the only thing that we don't have now. So we're gonna go ahead and try to take care of that. So, okay. What else do we got? We got a couple of site searches. Prior to the site searches, sorry, we've got remotes. So, first off, we can see right here the entire Earth trembled in the most powerful earthquake ever. So we get another Armageddon / Cataclysm situation, right? So this is going to obviously have killed more of our units. A lot of these units that will have died are just going to be like crappy chaff infantry, but it's very likely that we lost some mages here or there as well. I really wish this is a probably not a pet peeve of mine. This is probably a peeve of the entire community. But like, we should get detailed information from this, right? Like, we should get a list of all the people that it killed, right? And we should be able to like, oh, here's all the base units it killed. Here's all the commanders it killed, right? We should be able to check that easily, especially considering this is a spell that comes pretty late in the game when most people that are still alive have massive sprawling empires and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of units. Not being able to identify when your shit got is really kind of annoying. But anyways, so, overall, I'm not honestly too concerned about this. The biggest thing for us, likely, it's unlikely that we lost anything super important, but the biggest thing is that we might have some upkeep issues in the near future because this also hits population, right? It reduces the population in all provinces because it kills hundreds of thousands of people, right? Which is a bit of a bad thing. We took the first one and I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's not a big deal. But a second one is going to drastically shrink our actual income, which we do want enough income to try to continue to push out Dionis and the occasional Oni Shugo, etc. So this is not the end of the world for us, but starting to get annoying, right? So, is what it is. And then we have a bunch of manifestations, so we'll go ahead and watch those real quick. We are up against... Ooh, look at this! We're up against a Tartarian Monstrum and an Ether Lord without anything. So, this guy's probably going to kill us. I mean, just... He is probably a match for a Bane on his own. Yeah, see, the Bane lands, has 16 attack, 18 attack on his Bane Blade. But this guy has 17 defense, right? So that's a pretty even matchup. And he can stab the shit out of this guy, basically. I guess it's a little bit of a superior matchup for the Ashen Angel. But where'd that Monstrum go? Oh, there's that Monstrum. Okay. We're all surrounded. I got a bug flying around me. We got a bunch of skeletons around us. We got this Monstrum. We got the... Yeah, okay. We're starting to get chipped down. There's nothing we can do. Okay. Oh, what? What? Did he... Did I land? I swear to God, the AI for the Ashen Angels is so good. Let's watch that again. Let's watch that again. Like, they are one of the only units that I see do this, right? It's this scenario where he flies in, right? Almost always lands on the commander. Flies in. But he gets, you know, he gets harassed. And rather than just sit there and fight forever... Ooh. Oh, no, that obliterated the long death. Never mind. Rather than sitting and fighting there forever, what he does is he'll fly into the air, and oh, he already broke. He broke before he takes the hit. He broke in this moment. Maybe he actually flies in the air because this guy routes. And as he begins to run away, that's when the Ashen Angel gets the hit in on him because his stats are reduced. That's interesting. Okay. Well, he pieces out. And the Monstrum's gonna piece out. So, alright, that's cool. We just got a... Oh, no. I looked at the wrong thing. We just got an Ether Lord and a Monstrum, which is pretty cool. And then, apparently, we've lost this one to a White Mage. What's this one got? Ooh! This one has a legendary Storm Power 5, Corpse Construction bonus 10. So, this is, I'm assuming, where all the fucking corpse constructs are coming from. Although, if you're gonna do that, why not also throw a staff in there, right? Like, throw a freaking a lightning rod or whatever. Like, get that mileage, yo. Okay, so we hit for 11. Oh, he Hands of Death us. Okay, is what it is. He got us. Okay. We get another one. What are we attacking this time? We've got an Enchantress. Weird Enchantress. Air, water, nature. So just like an all over the place Enchantress. And she's just gonna Phantasmal Warrior. She's not gonna be able to defend herself. Ooh, 67. Jeez. Alright, cool. So, a little all over the place there. For remotes this turn, we had an Armageddon, which is not pleasant. And then we had 2 wins on Manifestation and 1 loss. So, not a horrible turn for us, but not enjoyable necessarily. Very cool to have killed one of those Ether Lords, though. That was exciting. All right, we've got some gems. Site searching. We have done a Gnome Lord, didn't find anything. Harspex didn't find anything. Voice of Apsu didn't find anything. And an Augury found a bronze pillar in Urfel. So, this is actually on the far side of Urmor's territory. Where there is already a library, we found a bronze pillar. So, cool. That probably won't be ours for a long time. Well, permanently ours for a little while. But we'll count it. And then we also had 28 blood slaves. Oh, well, Auspex found nothing. We also had 28. So, gem income this turn, fire +1 and blood +28. Bad. Next up, we have very few battles this turn. Most of our stuff was just moving around, trying to consolidate forces. We tried to potentially do a couple traps this turn, but Urmor didn't really bite. So they attacked us in Colormegar. And this is the Blinkbane guy, along with a Principe. Where's he at? There he is. Turn on square so I can see him. This guy's, like, the first time I saw him, I was like, this guy's fucking weird. But the more I see him, the more I'm like, I like this. This guy's cool. Because the Sandals of the Crane just blinking you around is neat. The Flambeau giving you the ability to cast Holy Pyre, really cool, right? And the Bottle of Living Water is just a nice distraction. looks like he's on attack rather than cast spells here, though. Which is a little strange. Right, like, I would think you want him to be casting spells, not attacking. But if he thinks he's gonna run into, like, I mean, even if he's running into a, I guess, like, the Flambeau hitting a Dione is gonna do way more damage, right? Because it's 3 times against a Dione. But, I mean, a Holy Pyre hitting 3 times harder is not significant. Still, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would be using Holy Pyre at this point. I also feel like if he... Are the Sandals of the Crane... Are those... Those aren't legendaries, are they? Let's look it up. I don't think so. I just think they're not commonly used. Sandals of the Crane are unique. Never mind. Okay. So they're really random and weird. Gotcha. Okay. I take it back. Huh. That would be really cool if that item was not unique, right? Like if you could just, even if it was still construction 8, right? Like I think most items in construction 8 are unique. Right? Construction. Yeah, I feel like... I don't know if all items from Construction 8 are unique, but I feel like they are. I feel like it would be cool to have some items in Construction 8 that aren't unique, right? Like, have a couple items, like those sandals aren't... Those are not like, oh, that's unbeatable. Literally just put anything ranged up against that Soul Slay and it's dead, right? You know? But it'd be really cool to have something like get to construction. Because so one of the things I think is most people don't give a shit about Construction 8, right? There's a select few nations that are like, ooh, Construction 8, yeah. And anyone who can like snag Construction 8 is like, yeah, you know, I'm going to 7 because I need golems, right? Or I make really good use of golems. Sure, I'll get 8 and get some, especially if you're really high into research because you want to get the uniques, or you got really good research rather. Sure, I that makes sense, but I think it would be cool to have some incentive for people to pick up Construction 8 later on, right? And that could just be interesting items, not crazy items, just interesting items in level 8 that aren't unique, right? Those Sandals of the Crane, I think, are a very good example, right? I don't think there's anything super game-breaking about them, but if you had, like, this little group of 20 Banes blinking around, going with Holy Pyre, just bing, brr, bing, brr, bing, brr, that would be really cool. Like, that would be a super interesting thing to mix in to your big armies, because Blink, it's random and it doesn't function like Fly. So what are you gonna do about it? But also, it's random. You might not have to do anything about it. It might just not do anything good for your opponent. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. It suddenly struck me as that would be really cool, but unfortunately not. Anyways, we lose in Color Megger. That's no big deal. We don't really care about that. We get hit in God's Tomb Mountains. Okay, this is concerning. Not because we don't care about what we're losing here. This is literally just a tiny Bakemono army. What's concerning is this is a lot of Ether Lords or Ether Warriors in a different stack from the previous Ether Warriors. And that's not good. That is definitely not good. So, we'll talk more about that later. We also took control of the province of Lorborough. We met no resistance. So, battles this turn, we have 1 win versus Ermor and 2 losses. So there's that. That's gonna be a big deal. We've got events all over the place. We have a water mage has now arrived at the Lake of Living Water. An attempt to summon the entities residing therein can be made. So, very cool. That's what we had planned to do. We got a pop event in Golem Range, pop event in Sophiria, pop event in Hiddenwood, pop event in Iron Crowns, or Iron Caverns. And probably a lot of these places are getting pop events now because this second Armageddon has taken them below the population threshold. So the rebirth mod is triggering. I'm assuming most people are getting a shit ton of population events this turn. So, core mark. We have +2 Dominion. Cool. Grey Mountains, an ancient treasure has been unearthed. +242 gold. Very nice. And in Wase, some unnecessary laws have been abolished, increasing the turmoil and unrest. That's always been weird to me. I feel like this description needs to change to just be some laws have been abolished, right? Because it feels like if you were to abolish unnecessary laws, people would probably be like, yeah, that's awesome, we got rid of some dumb old shit that we didn't need anymore. Not like, yeah, let's go be bandits. Like, what? I'm confused. Anyways, doesn't matter. Events this turn. Really just gold +242. So, pretty easy on that one. But we willn't complain. Having gold is always nice. Zox is unharmed. Jan Keep is now breached. So, very good. What are we doing this turn as far as movement and stuff goes? We got a couple of interesting things. Over in the Heartlands and the Olmish lands, just moving around Oni. Same in the Hinami's territory for the most part. We've got a couple of things where we are moving into the outskirts of the Ermorian territory. So one, specifically, we are moving in Zadak Gla, right? One of our Sea Kings, fully kitted out. He is leading a troop of Sea Trolls, and he's just going to march towards Ermor, right? I talked about the idea of just having some chaff or doing having these for like underwater armies, having the idea of, you know, doing some turbo communion style like soul vortex cheatiness basically with them, and we still might do that, but our income has now tanked because of that second Armageddon. So we are barely holding it together. So we are potentially just going to go suicide certain troops. One of the troops types that we are most likely to suicide is the Sea Trolls because they're very expensive. So, that's not to say that we're going to try to use them actively, right? Like, we're not just going to toss them to the wind and kill them. But, we are going to put them on the front lines, and if they die, they die. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be sad. Okay? So they're going in, and much like they are going in, some of our Earth Trolls are going in. So this is actually a little bit of a different situation. So this needs discussion around these now 2 groups of Ether Warriors, because I was just watching this group troll around, and now there is this group. Now, I don't know if there are portions, right, of this group that have broken off into this group, but I do not think there was just a split. I think new Ether Warriors have been summoned into the mix. So, that is concerning. Ermor is hucking out wishes left and right. Hucking out, I mean, they have freaking, Arcane Nexus up. And I'm not stopping any sort of production or gem usage, and I don't think anyone else on the map is either. So they're probably getting a metric shit ton of gems, and they're putting them to use. I don't know if it's gonna matter at this point. I say gonna matter at this point. I don't know if they can keep it up. I don't know if I won't just kill them anyways at this point, right? 10, 15 turns ago, yeah. They could have come at me hot, could have caught me with my pants down and taken me out. But at this point, I think they have so little left, so little land left, so little income, that I think, well, I say that, I think we're gonna be okay, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, there is the chance we have our Sea King over here doing the events, right? Gonna get some water elementals, hopefully. But there's a chance that he gets jumped by this group of Ether Warriors. So we are going to try to defend him by setting up a little trap question mark, where we try to deal with this. And how we are doing that is we are bringing in a bunch of liches, right? To Horde of Skeleton spam. And, right, if Ether Warriors get close, they will just drain life the shit out of them. We have a Troll King coming in to do Army of Lead onto a bunch of trolls, and we're actually bringing in a mass regeneration. So, I'm hoping that we don't touch the Ether Warriors here, but I do think this group, right, against this group will win because of the supporting magic, basically. But we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that is that little scenario. We're moving down a group of Kooni with Tejo. If they run into the Ether Warriors, they're dead. Whatever. We are consolidating on Belmar with a bunch of forces, including our other Troll King, or one of our other Troll Kings. And then we're going to storm Jankeep. We are not storming Jankeep with everything this time, though. In point of fact, we are actually moving quite a bit of our stuff off of Jankeep, because I don't expect there to be much of anything in Jankeep. After that last battle, there were only about 4 or so augurs that survived. So we're just going to send in a couple of Onishugos and a Dione. So we've got Rei, Akasada, Kintoshi, and Tsunemori. The Onishugos are there to just Horde of Skeleton spam, right? So is Akasada, never mind. They're all just Horde of Skeleton spamming. I forgot that was a thing that was happening. So, yeah. I don't know if that's going to be the best play. Part of the reason why I'm deciding to do that instead of just go in swinging is because I don't know if he's maybe teleported like a thug or a super combatant killer right in there. So a lot of times a thug that is built to kill something like a Dione will be really good at going toe-to-toe with the Dione, right? And after I have already done this to him at Silver Wall and shown that I have a lot of Diones in his land, I'm sitting here thinking maybe he will be like, oh, he's just gonna send in a Dione. Let me build a thug to kill that Dione. If that is the case, a lot of times something like just chaff spam, like Horde of Skeleton summons, will kill a thug or super combatant killer, because they're designed more about fighting one-on-one. They're designed to deal a lot of single target damage, right? While either not really surviving themselves or surviving specifically against like singular chunky hits. So who knows? This might be a bad idea, but we're doing it. We'll see. And that's mostly it for the movements and attack side of things. So, let's move on, talk about what we've got going on for rituals. We've got a whole lot of our normal stuff, so we'll just go ahead and go through that real quick. We've got 1 Augury, 1 Auspex, 1 Gnome Lore. Okay. We've got 9 Corpse Constructions, continuing that waste of gems. Not waste of gems, continuing that overcommitment of gems. Could be used for something better. We've got a Curse of Blood because we've got some more Blood Slaves going. We've got 3 more Manifestations, of course. And then we have one fun thing that you can already see over there, and that is we've got an End of Culture. So, I've been sitting on this for a little while now. We are just going to pull the trigger. This is dicey, right? I could overwrite my own spell. I think that's how that works. Or I could just run up against any of these other things that are probably much higher casts than what I'm throwing out. Arcane Nexus probably has a much higher cast than what I'm throwing out. Or it has a base cast. Stellar Focus is probably one of the ones that we could take. We know Well of Misery is pretty big, so I'm probably not going to be able to take that, and we have no idea on Forge of Ancients. I'm not 100% sure why I decided to just go ahead and pull the trigger on this. We do have a pretty high upcast of it. We are overcasting. We have more, paths than we need. We are overcasting it pretty heavily. But this is kind of a potential just big waste of gems if it doesn't work. The scenario in my mind, though, is that we are getting close. I've been avoiding putting up End of Culture for a while, for probably the last, 20 or 30 turns. Because there was a point at which Ubar was going to attack me, and I didn't want to give them more reason to do so, and, it just, generally speaking, I feel like when you put up globals like that, people are like, oh, well, we need to make sure you don't become a problem, right? So I did not want to draw the ire. However, at this point, Ubar, Lanka, and Helheim are so stuck in with each other that even if I do get this off, if they dispel it, okay, fine, whatever. But if they can't dispel it, I don't think they're going to be able to come immediately after me, which means that I'm going to have some time, at least a little while, for End of Culture to start to take effect. And if I can, then places like Strongdale, for example, are going to just skyrocket in what they are producing. Scardian Vale, starting to get up there, Shambolic, etc., right? And that would be really, really good for me in the coming battles, right? Like, if I can get into Culture up and keep it up for the next 10, 15 turns or so, right? I can get a very large return as far as respawn goes. Especially in, the couple of mountain provinces that I have. Places like Shambolic and stuff like that, you should see a fair increase in Oni and not Aka Oni. What's the Kura Oni and the Amanojaku or whatever it is, the Sacreds, right? Still rare, but there will be more of them. Anyways, looking forward to seeing if that goes off or not. No idea if it actually will. And if it does, might not stick around for a while. But we had a shit ton of fire gems that we've been storing up for the situation. At this point, I felt it was just like, fuck it, do it, let's go. Okay. Next up, we have some forging. And honestly, this is pretty light stuff, so we're just doing a Dragon Helmet, Armor of Knights, Boots of the Messenger, and Thistle Mace. All of that is pretty typical stuff. And most of it is being done just to fill out gear sets. So, Dragon Helmet, Armor of the Knights, Boots of the Messenger to fill out this gear set. And then Thistle Mace, again, we talked about this previously, right? Like, we've got these Fairy Queens. I'm trying to make it to where they can very easily cast things like Mass Regeneration, Relief, Howl, Serpent's Blessing, etc. So, just trying to kind of continue our path down that road. So, I think that is mostly it. We talked last time about the kind of overview of the game, how Helheim is on their way out. They've kind of like discussed that with me a little here or there. We're not pulling the trigger on vulturing yet, but unless I can finish Ermor in the next like 3 or 4 turns, it's probably going to approach the point of needing to vulture, and I don't think I can. I think unless Ermor does something, I think we're going to finish them relatively quickly, right? I don't think this is going to take maybe 10 turns, right? But that might be 10 turns too long for us / Helheim as far as like whether or not we need to move in and try to vulture. Specifically concerned about Feral Woods and Astena. So, anyways, that is going to be the end of this turn. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.